Welcome back to the Tigers Den podcast, guys. I'm your host, Big C Got Game. Before we get started and get diving into this offseason, make sure you smash that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're brand new, and don't forget, hit those links down in my description. Follow your boy on Twitter, Instagram, and the Facebook page at Big C Got Game. And don't forget, go ahead, ring that bell, join the Noti Squad. So we're coming off a bowl season, and our Grambling State Tigers moved their record to 12-1, 8-0 in Sun Belt play, beating UAB in the New Orleans Bowl. 45-31 was your final. Grambling State dominated from the beginning, but we still gave up 31 points on defense. Phil Austin finished his last freshman game 20 of 31 for 247, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He was forcing the ball a lot down the field. It came down to crunch time, trying to run up the score. Threw a couple of interceptions that I shouldn't have thrown. The running game, what can I say? Charlie Brooks capped off his freshman year with another show. 22 carries for 170 yards and 2 scores, including an impressive 36-yard run. Shout out to Will Higgins. He finished 13 carries for 61 yards and 1 score. And Phil didn't run that much, 5 carries for 11 yards. Out wide, Will Higgins led the way with 6 catches for 29 yards and 1 score. Demetrius Gunn had a big day, 4 grabs for 59 yards. Shout out to Jamaria Jackson, played his last game as a Grambling State Tiger. Finished with 3 catches for 27 yards and 1 touchdown. DJ Clark, 2 catches for 36 yards. Malik Rout had 2 grabs for 55 yards. Jordan Jones had 2 catches for 29 yards, and Salmon had 1 catch for 12 yards. On defense, the captain, Josh Carey, 16 tackles on the day, 4 for loss, 1 sack. The kid was all over the field. Deontay Bridgewater finished with 8 tackles on the day. Markel Jackson had a big day, 7 tackles, 1 for a loss, 1 sack. He had a fumble recovery that went 83 yards to the house, and it's what started the blowout in the second quarter. Brian Smith had 6 tackles on the day, Dearius Christmas had 6, and Josh Nichols had 5. So we put a bow on season 2, but before we go, we need to see who the national champions are, and it looks like it's the Alabama Crimson Tide. They rolled big, 42-30 over Stanford. Taking a look at the final top 25 of season 2, Alabama is your clear out number 1 team in the nation. Missouri moves up 4 spots to 2 from 6. Clemson up 4 spots from 7 to 3. After losing to Alabama, Stanford falls 2 spots to 4. USC is up 3 spots to 5. Grambling State up 3 spots to 6 after their win in the bowl game. Florida State falls 4 spots to 7. Washington falls 4 spots to 8. Oklahoma's up 2 spots to 9. Michigan's up 2 spots to 10. So let's take a look at our season stats before we move any forward. We had a lot of freshmen starting this year, starting with our quarterback, Phil Austin. He finished the season with 2,800 yards passing, 23 touchdowns, and 23 interceptions, completing just over 66% of his passes. A lot of the balls that Austin threw were forced down the middle, or, he doesn't have the best arm accuracy, but he's a freshman, and he took us to a 12-1 record. On the ground, Charlie Brooks was a stud. We knew coming in that he was going to be a big factor in our offense, but we did not expect these numbers. 284 carries, 1,954 yards, 27 touchdowns as a freshman. Taking a look at the awards he won this year as a freshman, he won the Doak Walker Award, he won the Walter Camp Award, he won the Maxwell Award, and the Heisman Award, all in his freshman year. Charlie Brooks has really put Grambling State on the map and put himself on the map, too, as the best running back in the country. Now, we do have a solid 1-2 punch with Will Higgins as our speed back. He carried the ball 170 times for 1,060 yards and 16 touchdowns. Shout out to Phil Austin as well. He's had a solid year on the ground, 125 carries for 746 yards and 10 touchdowns. Out wide, DJ Clark led the way again this year with receptions. He had 39 catches for 610 yards and 4 scores. He is wideout number 1 on our depth chart, and again this year he carried the wide receivers. Will Higgins, again out of the backfield, 38 catches for 341 yards and 1 score. Another freshman in the starting lineup was Demetrius Gunn. He had 33 catches for 539 yards and 6 scores. This kid is going to be dangerous, and he's only going to get better from here. Senior Khalif Salmon had a down year this year, but he still put up some decent numbers. 28 catches for 466 yards and 3 scores. He will be missed next year in the slot. Big tight end Jordan Jones had a breakout year at our tight end position. 27 catches for 320 yards and 2 scores. Senior Jamaria Jackson will be missed next year. He was the leader of the group in the meeting room. Finished with 17 catches for 251 yards and 2 scores. Back next year will be Malik Rout. He might take the Khalif Salmon role. He had 12 catches this year for 270 yards and 3 scores. He showed that he could be a deep threat for our team. On defense, it's weird because the guy who led the way with tackles is Josh Carey, but for some reason he's not on our stat sheet right now. But Josh Carey was the leader on defense. He had well over 100 tackles this season. He was all over the field as a freshman. We moved him from safety down to linebacker because of his speed and tackling ability, and he showed why on the field. He is a stud. Second on the team this year was Brian Smith. He was a JUCO transfer for us. He had 80 tackles on the season, 75 by himself. We're going to miss Dearius Christmas next year. The middle linebacker is graduating. He finished the season with 71 tackles on the year. Junior free safety Deontay Bridgewater. He's the captain, 71 tackles on the year. Then our linebackers had a solid year. 46 tackles for Markel Jackson and 46 tackles for Donald Freeman. Cornerback number 1, John Nichols. What a year for the JUCO transfer. 37 tackles, 5 for a loss, and finished with 5 interceptions. Taking a look at the sack numbers for the season, Brandon Varner led the way with 13. He had a huge year at defensive end for us. It's going to be hard to fill his shoes. Also, D-tackle Big Allen Clark, he finished with 7 sacks on the year. The 1-2 punch of Varner and Clark definitely brought pressure to the quarterback. Big Cam Richardson finished with 5 sacks on the season. We're excited to have him back, and we're probably going to kick him inside to D-tackle. Backup Rodney Jackson had 4 sacks on the season, and freshman Josh Carey had 4 sacks on the season. Mullins finished with 3, Jackson finished with 2, and James Heron, another freshman, finished with 1 sack on the year. Back to interceptions. Anytime you threw John Nichols' way, it was going to be picked off. He finished with 5 interceptions on the season, while a host of others only finished with 1, including Cargo, Bridgewater, Shy, and Carey. In the return game, John Nichols was equally as dangerous. He had 68 returns this year for 2,031 yards and 2 scores, including a 102-yard kickoff he took back to the house. Then a punt return game, Will Higgins was our punt returner. He had 19 returns for 265 yards. So that's going to wrap it up for season 2. What a year. We finished 12-1 and on a 11-game win streak after losing to LSU. I'm not going to lie, I was very shocked by the production we had this year, and I'm excited to see what season 3 brings for us. Oh, so it looks like we're getting a contract extension from Grambling State. Let's take a look at it. We are going to get a 6-year extension. Right now, Coach Broderick Fobbs is 20-5 in his 2 years at Grambling State, 1-1 in bowls, 3-1 versus the top 25, and has an A+ prestige. So let's go ahead and sign this 6-year extension. All right, so we're gonna simp through the coaching carousel. Taking a look at the coaches carousel, and it looks like we just lost our offensive coordinator. Owens is headed out, and we bring in DeBauer. He was fired from Fresno State. Oh, no. So our coordinator leaves, and we bring in a fired offensive coordinator from Fresno State. They were 10th in the Mountain West last year. They only averaged 23 points a game. Oh, man, this is not good, guys. It's okay. Now we got to look at players leaving. So we might have some transfers this year. Cool. All of our seniors are graduating. We're saying goodbye to Jamaria Jackson, Mendez, Clark, Orozco, Varner, Cargo, Salmon, Christmas, Cherry, Jackson, Skipper, Brown, Shy, Banks. That's a lot of production, especially in these first few guys. It's a lot of production that we're saying goodbye to, and it's going to be a lot of holes that need to be filled. Okay, let's take a look at draft results. I doubt that we have anybody that gets drafted this year. Yep, nobody drafted this year. So still no players from Grambling State have been drafted. Drop down to transfer request. Anybody coming to Grambling next year? Nope. Okay, good. So it's time to hop into recruiting, and here is a look at our big board. Big tight end Rob Bradford from DC is still the number one player on our board. We're trailing Notre Dame right now, but I know we can put enough points into him to bring him to Grambling State. Wideout Clint McCoy from Louisiana. It is a tight race between us and North Texas. Corner Ron Bennett from Perry Heights, Ohio. He's a 4-star prospect. It's a tight race between Grambling State and Missouri. We have 4-star running back John Brock from Tucumcari, New Mexico. We're in the lead right now, so I think we could put a few points on him just to get him committed to Grambling. We have a huge lead for Charles Butler. He's a 6'6" defensive end from South Carolina. We're battling for athlete Kyle Winston from Oak Ridge, Tennessee. DN Antoine Butler. We have a slight lead over Southern Miss. Going to put a few points into him just to add some depth to the defensive line. And cornerback Justin Smith from Grambling, Louisiana has shown a lot of interest in staying close to home. So we'll put a few more points in him to make sure that he is guaranteed to stick around. So here's what our final board is going to look like. 8,500 points on Rob Bradford. Clint McCoy gets 1,350. Ron Bennett gets 1,600. John Brock gets 800. Charles Butler gets 200. Antoine Butler gets 250. Are these two brothers? Maryland? South Carolina? Cousins. They could be cousins. And corner Justin Smith gets 300. So hopefully this lands us at least 2 of the guys. But as of right now, I just don't know. All right, here we go. I'm going to open my eyes in 3, 2, 1. Oh, man. All right. 3, 2, 1. We got him. Yes. Clint signed with North Texas. John Brock ended up going to TCU. Wow. Kyle Winston ended up going to Alabama. We got Rob Bennett. We got Charles Butler. We got Leo Lawson at corner, Justin Smith at corner, and then Antoine Butler decided to sign with Southern Miss. All right, let's dive into these numbers. So here's a look at the big board. We lost out on Clint McCoy by 195 points. Wow. Really? That's insane. Running back John Brock, we had a huge lead on everybody, but TCU must have put in a boatload of points because they jumped up over everybody. Charles Butler signed. Wow. Southern Miss really wanted Antoine Butler because they put in a lot of points into him. Wow. So we got Justin Smith from Grambling. He's sticking around. Leo Lawson decided to sign with us. We really didn't put any points into Kyle Winston. And then Rob Bradford, we beat out Notre Dame by 4,000 points. So think about it. If we would have taken those 4,000 points, let's say we taken 3,000 points, we could have got McCoy and Brock. It's okay, though. It's okay. And then Ron Bennett, we won by 2,000 points over Missouri. So our class finishes in the top 12. We are number 12 in the nation, signing, I think we signed, 18 players this year. All right, so we hop into position changes. We are straight at quarterback, straight at running back. Let's go to athletes. All right, so Jermaine McConnell. He's a JUCO sophomore. He's 6', 206. He could play running back. He could play wide receiver. But I think where I want to put him is at, what's his corner ratings like? Man coverage, zone coverage. play rec is good. His pursuit is good. I might just put him at corner, be honest with you. What's his tackle? Tackle's a 62. Yeah. All right, so McConnell is an offensive player, but we want to use him at corner because of his speed. But don't be surprised if you see him on offense for a little bit. So we have Joe Thomas, another athlete from Louisiana, 72 overall. He's got zone coverage, but he's more of a running back for sure. Look at that, an 80 overall at running back, 74 at tight end or wide receiver. 74. We got to put him at running back. I'm a red shirt and put him at running back. And then we have athlete Robert Clemens from Oakdale, Louisiana. Let's see where he can play. Running back, wide out, linebacker, middle linebacker, corner, free safety is a 70. Might throw him at free. Let's throw him at free safety and see what we can do. The one thing I did want to do, I want to move Markel Jackson inside for next year. Yep. And then we're going to move Cam inside to play D tackle. Time to take a look at training results and look at DJ Clark. He moves up to a 91 overall. He gets a +5 in the offseason. So start off at quarterback. Sophomore Phil Austin moves up to an 83 overall, gets a +6 after a stellar freshman year. Higgbottom, his backup, is an 80 overall. And then third on the list is Charles Wright. He moves up 6 to a 78 overall. In the backfield, big Charlie Brooks gets a +6. He's a 85 overall now. He gets a 1-up in speed and +3 in acceleration. Desharius Flowers, he moves up to a 82 overall. He gets a +5. But look at Will Higgins. He goes up +5 for his senior year. He's going to be 81 overall with 94 speed and 94 acceleration. We already talked about DJ Clark moving up to a 91 overall, but look at the rest of the receiving class. Derek Pate moves up to an 88 overall with 83 speed, though. Demetrius Gunn, after his great freshman year, moves up 5 to an 86 overall. Redshirt transfer Chad Terrell moves up to an 85 overall. He gets a +5. He's going to be fun to play with, 88 speed and 95 acceleration. Cox moves up 4 spots to 76. Route moves up a +5 to 76. Davis is a 75 overall. Brooks is a 74, and Geis is a 71. At tight end, Jordan Jones gets a +5 to a 75, and so does Marquise Keigler. At tackle, Che Manning gets a +5 to a 78 overall. Alexander Blunt moves up 6 to a 76 overall. He's a 79 pass block, 81 run block, 73 impact block, not bad. Our center, Fred Williams, gets a +7 to an 81 overall. Carl Wilmer gets a +6 to a 75 overall. And then Keon Smart gets a +5 to an 80 overall. On defense, Anthony Mullins moves up 5 spots to a 71 overall. D tackle Cam Richardson is an 80 overall after a +5 off season. Star defensive player Josh Carey gets a +4 to an 86 overall. He gets a +1 to his speed, which is up to a 96 now. He gets a +1 in agility and a +2 in acceleration and a +5 in awareness. Shout out to Markel Jackson, moving him to the inside. He gets a +5. He's an 80 overall now. And behind him is Jeremy Carter, who's a 79 overall after getting a +5 in the offseason. On the other side, Donald Freeman gets a +4 to an 80 overall. And then in the quarterback position, John Nichols moves up to a +5. He's an 87 overall now, 96 speed, 87 agility, 96 acceleration. And his coverage skills got better. Look at that, 91 man coverage, 92 zone coverage, and 91 press. James Heron moves to a 75 overall after switching positions to a corner this year. Fred Parrish is up +5 to a 73. And Donquarian Fields is a +5. At free safety, Deontay Bridgewater gets a +5 to an 89 overall. He's got a +6 in awareness, which he needed. 72 tackle, 89 zone coverage, 90 play rec. That's going to help him out so much. He had a couple of times this year where he did not recognize the play at all. 98 in pursuit. And then at strong safety, Brian Smith gets a +4 and is an 82 overall. He got faster too, 95 speed, 92 acceleration, and a +5 in awareness. So all in all, this team is looking stacked, and I'm excited to see what we get to play with in the next season. And every season you have to cut players just to make sure you make the 70-man roster. This year we have to cut 4. We're going to start here with Ben Smith. He's gone. Free safety, Robert Clemens from Oakdale, Louisiana. Well, no, that's not the guy. Sanders was the guy. Danny Sanders has to go. He does not have a true position here, and the speed is just too slow. So 2 more. I think there was a defensive end, right? Yeah. Defensive end Jason Burley has to go. He's a 51 overall. He's got 62 speed. His size is great, 6'7", 258, but his attributes just won't make the team. And we need 1 more. I'm excited about this. That's huge. So I'm having a tough time because DeSharius will not get any playing time this year with Brooks and Higgins still here. So we'll do this. Oh, we'll lose a pipeline though. I'm going to let go of Nick Black. What's his speed? He's got 93 speed though. I'm going to let go of Nick Black. I'm going to keep Ellis Jones. And I think we're going to let go of DeSharius Flowers. So we hop into custom conference, and a lot of you guys were asking if I was going to move this year, if we were going to, say go to like the Big 12 or the SEC. But to keep it more realistic, I'm going to stay in the Sun Belt for at least 1 more year. And then after season 3, we can talk about moving conferences. So that's going to do it for the Tigers Den podcast off-season version. Make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're brand new. Comments down below. Who are you excited most to see on the field going into next season? I'm excited to see Rob Bradford at tight end. Charlie Brooks has gone up again as a great running back. So has Higgins. I'm interested to see what Alston does in his year 2. Carey, Nichols. It's going to be a fun year. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I'm going to post the schedule for next season there. So make sure you guys head over there, hit those links down in my description, follow your boy so you can see when that will get posted. Also, I'm going to do some custom recruits this year. I'm not taking sub recruits just right now, not for right now. I got a couple ideas of how I want to build the recruiting class this year. Also, I'll have the red shirts and all the players' gear and all that stuff. We'll do that in another video, but I just want to wrap this up because it's running kind of long. But thank you guys so much for all the support, all the love on this series. I'm having a ball with it. I can't believe we're going into season 3 already. And if you guys are enjoying it, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're brand new, ring the bell, join the Noti Squad, and get notified when your boy uploads. And I'm going to check you guys out in week 1 of season 3. Thanks for watching, guys. 2 fingers in the air. Peace.